Imagine unironically erasing someone else's work because you own the rights to it now. Yike. 4 hours played. Game has been updated to remove content when nobody asked for this. 2.4 hours played. The current devs of this game just censored a bunch of stuff in-game, including fan art, character designs, and any possible references to fascism, racism, or police brutality, which are important themes to multiple characters' stories. Do not give them any money until they revert these changes. 7.7 hours played. Censorship. 1.7 hours played. Don't censor 10-year-old content to suit someone's crazy political views. 5.5 hours on record. Good game, coward developers. Removing content and changing art style years after this game has been out to pander. No one was complaining. Now you get to enjoy the bomb. What caused all this, you may ask? Well, the fighting game Skullgirls was recently updated and removed and censored certain things. What are these certain things, you might ask? Well, according to these patch notes, it was they got rid of a scene in which a character was assaulted by police officers, and they did some adjustments to a character with a red armband on their sleeve, which I'm sure you know what that alludes to. And then, most flagrantly, most terribly, they adjusted a scene in which a 16-year-old has an upskirt shot to not show her panties anymore. God. Now, I do want to preface this by saying, when game devs change big things, I can get why people would be mad. However, none of these are big things at all. They are minor art tweaks. They are not changes to how the game fundamentally works, such as, Fortnite. I like some Fortnite seasons and chapters more than I like the others. That is for damn sure. I still miss the Chrome and all that back from chapter 3 season 7 or whatever it was. But you don't hear me bitching about it, is all I'm saying. As well as this, I don't even really have a huge problem with positive Nazi representation within media. I'm a big fan of Stroheim from JoJo. Even though he is positive Nazi representation in media, and really the only example of it that I can think of off the top of my head. I really don't have a problem with that, because at the end of the day, Nazis were humans, even if they had extremely terrible and demonic views on how people that don't look like them should be treated. They were humans, they do have their stories, positive and negative. However, they were mostly negative. That being said, I know very little about fighting games and Skullgirls. All I really know is that Smash is the one where it's either people who were raised by Goku as a father figure or pedophiles come to compete. That is really all I know. However, what I do know about Skullgirls is that it is very hypersexual. It is a very sexualized game, and you can see this in a lot of its characters. That being said, you don't really have to make a 16-year-old hypersexual. I really see nothing wrong at all with any of these tweaks. I can see how maybe changing the red armband would throw off some combos. However, just learn the timing. If you know the combos, you should know the timing to the combos. Just learn the timing better. But other than that, I really see no problem here at all. I think the censoring the black character getting beat up by cops is a little kinda washy, a little kinda let's wash the time period, let's make it a little more clean. However, I don't really see much wrong with trying to front out a cleaner product that is more enjoyable and more observable for more people, just as a business perspective. I really see nothing wrong with having your product accessible and, openable for as many people as possible. And I don't really understand why the Skullgirls fan base, or quote unquote fan base, that have played 3 hours of the game are so anti this. Me personally, I would be pro accessibility for games. I believe that there should be a skill gap between experienced and new players. There should be a ceiling. There should be controls that help aid more experienced players do more experienced things and cooler things. However, games should generally be accessible. And do you know how I know that the majority of people mad at this are pedophiles? Let's look at known pedophile, Rev Says Desu.
Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. By the time you're hearing this video, I'm going to be on the road, so before I left, I wanted to give a couple of updates and stories across various platforms, a bit of a parkour of different topics, but I want to start with an update from a recent story. This is something we covered a few days ago, so to make a long story short, Skullgirls is a game that is heavily featured franchise to promote their fighting game, and they recently came out with an update saying that they're going to be removing a great deal of exploitative content from all of their games, which mostly had to do with fan service. And of course, people were upset. Like I said, this game has incorporated and used fan service to promote their game for basically a decade now. So this is a very strange 180. Well,
what he won't tell you, of course, is that this fan service is of a 16-year-old girl. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar to anime and don't know what fan service is, it's basically portraying a character in a sexual manner, and that's really it.
And it's also had some very unintended consequences as well. So here you have a post made on the 28th saying, still waiting for Mari to tell us what she thought of the Grimace Shake, using the whole Grimace Shake meme. And of course, you go to the replies, it's a bloodbath. When you censor anything but gore. Why is she looking like a player base after this new patch? Death and gore good, panties bad. Literally 90s soccer moms.
Damn, I didn't know he was gonna come out as anti-gore. That's a bit of a strange take coming from a free speech absolutist. I guess that's just me though. I guess I'm the only one who thinks that's a little strange. But in all seriousness, this does prove me right that the whole entire frenzy over this isn't actually about the other parts. It is just about the 16-year-old girl no longer being overtly sexualized. That's all it's about. It's just pedophiles wanting to be pedophiles. That's it.
Maybe ask her what she thinks of your needless censorship of the game. Could you please censor this? It's a bit gory for today's audience. Yeah, as you can see, this is backfiring, and the Skullgirls fans and just casual onlookers are mocking them for their very tone-deaf decision, and honestly, very well deserved.
The problem here is that there's a pretty big difference between a drawing of a skeleton with a purple liquid around it and a drawing of an underage child's panties. I think just saying that out loud, you can figure out what the difference is here, is that one of them is socially okay and the other isn't. However, you know, pedophiles, they'll fight for whatever scraps they're given. But anyways, that's about all he has to say. Now what do I have to say? It is really a shame that developers get attacked based on these really huge conservative outrage campaigns from people that really don't even play their game, never will play their game, and never have played their game, except in extremely rare cases where maybe you have one or two people with, like, let's say 300 hours be mad at the game because they're retarded. But other than that, I really don't think anybody has played the game. These developers pour their heart and their soul into this art, and sure, you can maybe say something about their heart and soul being maybe a little compromised by censorship. However, you know, not all censorship is really bad here. I don't think that censoring a underage girl's panties is a bad thing. I think that's actually a good thing. Art has to be compromised in order to be commodified, and it's a shame that we have to commodify art in the modern gaming space. However, that's just how it is. You have to buy it, you have to spend your money on it, so therefore you have to appeal to as many people as possible, and frankly, having upskirt shots of a 16-year-old in your game isn't appealing to a lot of people, except for, as I mentioned earlier, pedophiles. Alright y'all, so that's about it for today. I've said all I want to say, and before I go, I just want to do some promotion real quick. I've had this Discord in my description for a long time, but I never actually promoted it. So if you made it this far and you want to join the Tay Discord, please just click the link in the description. It still works. Hey, it still works, and you should click on it. And yeah, if you like this video, give it a like. If you didn't, just to own me, I think it would own me pretty epically if you left a like, because I would like fume super hard if you left a like. And you know, if you really like the video, you can subscribe. But yeah, if you have any criticisms for this video, we're gonna make up a code word. It's gonna be, let me think, it's gonna be child. Okay, the code word is child. If you hated this video, you have legitimate criticisms, use code word child somewhere in your comment, and if it's not super stupid, I won't delete it. But yeah, I'll see y'all guys in the next video. I hope y'all liked this one. It was a little more work than usual, and I hope that showed in the content. But yeah, I'll see y'all guys later. Bye.